Trick or treat, motherfuckers, and welcome to episode number 5 of Boutique Talk. My name is Jake Boston, otherwise known as Steelbook Obsessed on all your major social media platforms. And if you want to listen to all things physical media related, then you've come to the right place. Every week, I have on a new guest to talk about their collecting journey. And today, my guest is 1/4 of the Collectors Club and the biggest Spirit Halloween fanboy I know. It's Derek, the Convicted Cinephile. Derek, how you doing, man?
Oh, great. A trick or treat motherfucker to you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my kid is the biggest fanboy, not me, but so I have to drive him there though.
Gotcha. Oh, it's not you? I thought it was I thought you were getting him into it.
Yeah, but he's the one who got obsessed with it and
Yeah.
made me like it even more. So oddly enough, he was watching YouTube videos of like animatronics that were coming out and he had them all memorized by name before the store even opened.
Oh geez. I brought my kids in there once and I don't think I'll be able to for the next 5 years because they were
No.
traumatized by all the big stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, he was kind of like that a couple years ago. Like I saw a funny video of him from like 3 years ago. Like I would turn on the animatronic and I turned my camera and he'd be like peeking around like a steel beam in the background. And then by the end of the day, he's like stomping on it 100 times. Doesn't take long.
How much of that stuff behind you do you think is Spirit Halloween? I see a couple right off the bat.
1, 2, the hand bowl, the Bates
Yeah.
Motel sign, the good guys thing, the Michael Myers light, the shorty thing up here, the Beetlejuice sign, the Jason masks, the Scream knife behind the shorty thing, and then my Killer Clowns cluster over there. And then I got a Beetlejuice snake over there, and then a handful of things in front of me.
It's all over the place.
Yeah. Some in the other room, one Mars Attacks thing up there. Yeah. I like it for decor. That's what I like going there for, pretty much.
Yeah,
Stuff I can just have out all year like that.
It's high quality horror stuff. It's hard to find. And when like a store opens up and just has mass amounts, it's kind of hard to say no.
High enough quality, at least.
Right. Well, I reached out to you to talk about any boutique label that you wanted to, and you were gung-ho about doing Halloween.
Yes.
From Scream Factory, the complete collection. You have the very nice set.
The fancy one.
I have the little like mini version.
Yeah, the
slim.
Halloween light, whatever that is. Yeah, I remember I bought this day one, and they had them both on the shelves the same day, and I was like, should I just get the cheaper one? I'm like, YOLO, I'll get the cool one.
Right.
That glad I did, so nice. The main reason I honestly bought it was because it had that producer's cut of number 6. Like that was like the linchpin that made me like, yeah, I'll get that one.
Right. I got mine secondhand. I've only seen that in person once. A guy was selling stuff from his collection, and I asked about that. He's like, "That's the one thing I'm going to keep." So I had my chance, and I didn't get it. But man, I wish I did because I have that Friday the 13th set that Scream Factory came out with, and I'm like, I really wish I had that Michael Myers because these look so great.
Yeah, and they are next to each other on my shelf. I think just alphabetically and
as they should,
what they are. So
right, as they should. Well, yeah, we'll talk more about Halloween later, but I kind of want to get into how you started collecting physical media. You want to go into that?
Yeah, honestly, I've just been collecting DVDs since like 2000 when I started working at my movie theater. Got a DVD player right before I started working there. So like the thing I spent all my money on was DVDs, pretty much. DVDs and fast food. Because I get into movies because I worked there.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, every Tuesday, back when Best Buys were fun to go to on Tuesdays, and there were aisles and aisles and aisles of movies, I'd go every Tuesday with my Circuit City and Best Buy ads to get whatever store was cheaper or price match the other one, and get a handful of things every week. So
God, I miss those days. Like even
and then I don't have any of those DVDs anymore. Pretty much, it sucks.
Yeah, I mean, even like before COVID, like 2018, 2019, it was still pretty decent out there.
Yeah. I was in like a lull of buying things, at least in stores, for several years. I still barely do, like most of the time, unless I have to go to the store. I just order it. It's just easier. I like looking in person. It's fun, and I like looking at like thrift stores and half-price books and stuff because you might find something that's you won't find at Best Buy anymore, like an old Steelbook that sold out or something like that. That's the main reason I like going there is for like I found the Scream 1 Steelbook super cheap there last time I bought something.
Nice.
Or that Avengers Steelbook collection.
Yeah.
I got that for $60 in my half-price book. So I'm like, well, that's a good deal. I need that.
Yeah, I got mine $60. Best Buy was having a sale on them, and that was the cheapest I found. So I'm like,
crazy.
Snagging that.
Yeah. For Best Buy, that's impressive.
Yeah. They did that with a whole bunch of their Disney Steel books randomly. There's like, yeah, we're gonna make it super cheap. I want these to sell great, so
They just
hopefully
purged them,
they
and then now everyone's like, "Oh shit."
pretty much, yeah. They do that and then they're gone, and now like they barely do anything with physical media. So what do you do?
All they release is Marvel movies and ugly steelbooks that are
All they
mostly
got those fridge magnets, man. They're terrible. Hmm.
pretty.
Well, I know you started with DVDs, but you have quite a few VHSs too. How'd you get started collecting that?
Um, Actually, honestly, my personal VHS collection I gifted to a fellow YouTuber.
Hmm.
Uh, Hat Hole Home Video. He was a guest video on our last Collectors Club episode we did. I had to get him on there because he likes weird cult movies and he tries to specifically collect rental tapes, which is oddly enough, every single tape I have is a rental
Oh,
tape
nice, very
too.
nice.
Me and my buddies bought them from a not quite going out of business, mom and pop video rental store called Parrot Video
Hmm.
and Tanning because that's what they used to have. They got in trouble because there were peepholes in the back room, as you if you
Oh
want to call it that, into
no!
the tanning area.
Yikes!
But before that, at least we bought a whole bunch of crappy, awesome VHS movies, and they all came with the Postman plastic bags starring Kevin Costner. That was the best part. I'm like, why
Just
do they have these
loaded with
here?
those. Yeah, I couldn't get
Yeah.
rid of those
And
suckers.
this was like 15 years after that movie came out. That's why it was so funny.
Right. Oh
Yeah,
Jesus!
it was good.
I love collecting VHS tapes still, and whenever one pops up with a random mom and pop store, it's just nice to be like, oh hey, this came from here. That's kind of cool. Kind of track
Yeah,
where it's from.
exactly. Yeah, and then
Mhm.
especially if they're like cut with the plastic cases
Right.
around them, and like that's just
Yeah.
aesthetically just fun.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
very
I
nostalgic.
don't buy VHS unless it's something like really really cool or just like dumb as hell. Otherwise, it's not really worth it
Right.
to me.
Like, yeah, the common movies I don't really do anymore, but I do like the oddities and I have them for like my end caps on my collection just to kind of show off for different like holidays and seasonal stuff, all that
Sure,
jazz.
a
Yeah.
cool artwork. Yeah, yeah. If it's something I've never seen before or something, I'll grab it just because it's fun. But
Right.
other than that, it's like I probably have it on Blu-ray already or something.
Hmm.
Like well, I'm not gonna watch the tape. Got to save the
Well,
space.
you started collecting with DVDs. Do you remember what caught your eye with boutique labels? Was it a certain release that came out, or did you just have a few in your collection that you saw? Oh,
Um,
hey, these and these match.
Honestly, without knowing it, it was this. I bought it day one
Yeah.
because I like Halloween and it was a cool set and I wanted to buy it. And then it wasn't until like at least a couple of years later that I was like, oh, Scream Factory is a thing. Like I didn't, when I bought it, I didn't know what it was.
Hmm.
And then I think I just happened to buy a couple other Scream Factory titles like Mad Max and Prince of Darkness. And I accidentally discovered that they had reversible artwork.
Yeah.
And then that was like drugs for some reason. And then I had to get all of them because
Yep.
the reversible cover art was like the thing that made me geek out so hard. I had to
Yeah.
start getting them all,
Still
which
for me.
ironically this does not have. But
But the best feeling in the world is when it has a reversible artwork and you also get the slip cover, so it has two different ones. And you, oh my
yeah,
god,
that's what I do. Yep.
yeah,
Every time I watch it, I flip it over too. That's like my routine. If I watch a thing with reversible cover art, I always flip it back so I can enjoy both sides
sure,
regardless.
no, that makes sense. Yeah, and I was kind of in the same boat. I didn't know it was a thing until I kind of like popped the disc out and I kind of saw like in the peephole, like, oh, what is this? The slip cover. You flip it over, and yeah, it's just opening up a whole new can of worms when it comes to collecting, and it's the best.
Yeah. And then it's downhill from there
Well,
in
since
any way.
I mean, downhill in the best way possible. Like I'm
Yeah,
rolling,
exactly.
but I'm not breaking my neck or anything, you know?
Right, yeah.
Hmm. So the Halloween box set was probably the first one that got you into Scream Factory.
Yeah, it was the first one I ever got for sure.
Is that your favorite boutique label, do you think? Or
Um, it's the one I have the most of, but I don't think it's my favorite anymore, at least.
yeah.
It was the easiest one to get into. I would say it's the gateway boutique label, but companies like I guess Criterion was the first one I ever knew because I used to buy their DVDs all the time, but
Hmm.
I didn't think much of it at the time because I was like, "Oh, it's Criterion, cool." It was like the only thing that was that. So, my kid just came in.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's on the counter out there. Looking for his Nintendo.
Priorities.
But it's over there. Yeah. What was I talking about?
Criterion.
Yeah, yes, Criterion. I've had. So that was the first one, I guess, but I didn't know what a boutique label was. It was just,
Hmm.
oh, Criterion, cool.
Yeah. No, I worked at Hollywood Video, and that was the same thing to me. They had like an entire section of just Criterion. I'm like, what the heck is this? Just like art house films, I guess. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's like I knew they were fancy and overpriced for the most part, but
right.
other than that, I didn't really think much of it other than they were cool and they have cool artwork
Mm-hmm.
on the handful of my head.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah.
I get, yeah, I started first collecting Criterion as well. But then when I got into horror, like 2017, 2018, that's when I really learned about Scream Factory. And that was the first like boutique one that I went crazy on. Like
Yeah.
Criterion was just here or there. Scream Factory, I'm like, I want as many of these as possible because they're all amazing.
Yeah, I try to get all of the collector's edition ones. So anytime back when back when the Blu-ray.com app used to let you track prices,
Mm,
I used to set all of their stuff like to alert me if it hit like 14.99.
right. Now I
So
just like track the deals every day just to see if
yeah,
anything
yeah,
pops
I'm
up.
always on there looking too, but
Yeah.
sometimes yeah, it doesn't pop on the top of the list, so you're not really paying attention, but it actually like text you like these are on sale for this price. I was
Hmm.
like, "Oh my god," so I'd buy them anytime they were like around that price.
Right.
And then any like Shocktober sale they do, I'd buy whatever ones I didn't have yet that were the better prices, like $17 or, between
Mhm.
15 and under $20, I would grab them. So that was pretty much all I was buying physical media wise for a couple of years, was just whenever they'd have a sale.
Sure.
And then, then I discovered Arrow by accident through the RoboCop and American Werewolf in London limited editions, and I was like, "Oh, these are cool. I want
Hmm.
those." And I got Last House on the Left, and then yeah, I sort of got out of collecting Scream Factories because they just started re-releasing so many movies I already bought
Yeah. In
4K. So
4K.
I'm like, well, I don't need them. Like, I don't want to spend another $30 on a movie I already worked hard on collecting. Like
I'm in the same
occasionally I'll
boat
do it,
too.
but
Yeah.
not for full price. That's for damn sure.
Right. Their transfers are okay too, but I think there's other boutique labels that have better 4K transfers. So like the majority of
Yeah,
the time I'm just like, I can't justify the price if I have the movie already. And there's no new
yeah,
special
exactly.
features either. Drives
Yeah,
me
that's the
nuts.
worst part. Yeah, it's like there's no like one of them I just came out. I finally just bought the Evil Dead remake on Blu-ray because it was like never on sale,
Hmm.
and it was the director's cut one, and it was like $12, which is like not crazy cheap. But I was like, oh, I don't have that. I should buy that finally. And then of course, like a month later, they announced it at 4K, but it doesn't have like anything new on it. So I'm like, oh, I'm glad I paid $12 for it. So I don't need it that badly.
Right.
Yeah,
Did you get
it's few
anything
and
from
far
the Shuck?
between. Do I upgrade a 4K I already have? And even then, most of the ones they're coming out with, if it's not something brand new, I don't even consider it
Yeah.
unless it's on sale.
I just do it for the movies I love. Like I did Army of Darkness, and yeah, the transfer's fine, but it's the
Yeah,
exact same thing.
yeah, I got that one, and I got Bubba Hotep,
Oh, you're a
and
lover of Boba Hotep, huh?
oh yeah, yeah, that's the normal spot for my Bubba Hotep poster where Blood Temple is.
Blood Temple's a better choice of poster, I think.
That's yeah, they're both great and very different reasons, but
Right.
yeah, I love Bubba Hotep. I saw it in
Mhm.
theaters when it came out, so I've liked it actually since it came out.
Gotcha.
Day
Did you
one,
Jeez.
but I have those.
Did you pick up anything from the Shocktober sale this year?
No, the only thing I was even considering was the Halloween 6, 7, 8 set,
Yeah.
and I was like, eh. If I had money to waste, I would have gotten it, but I'm like, I could just not buy it because I already have them all here. And
Right. I
considering
have
I watch them once a year, maybe I don't need to spend more money on the same 3 movies.
I have this set, and the only reason why I do is because I won it in a contest on TikTok. That's the only reason.
Oh,
I
nice.
wouldn't have paid what $60 for this thing for these movies. No,
Yeah,
thank you,
I mean, $60 is half off. That's like the sale price. It's like
man.
it was like 120. I'm like, no way in hell. Like 60 is reasonable because it's like
Oof.
$20 a movie for a
For
box
those
set with like
movies though,
with like
especially
the
when
hard
Halloween
boxes.
H2O just came out with that
Yeah,
nice steelbook, I love that thing so
it's a
much.
cool looking steelbook, yeah. But I like the ones that match better, and I already have the first 5 because I finally got those last year when they had. It was like their 10th anniversary sale. I think I finally bought
Yeah.
those.
It's where they
So I
get you.
wanted to get them before they ran out of those hard boxes or whatever.
Sure.
And they're cool, and I've watched a couple of them. They look great, but yeah, I can live without 6, 7, and 8 on 4K for a little bit longer. It's one of those
Right.
things I'll just find randomly one day used, and I'll probably grab it. So
I also think it's one of those sets that's just going to keep on going down and down in price because the people who wanted it have it, and the other people who are waiting are going to wait for it to get dirt cheap.
yeah, yeah, I was like, and it was cheaper than it was now on the last sale they had, and I was like,
Oh,
well, it's
geez.
already been cheaper. I might as well wait till it's that price again.
Right. Exactly.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, my plan for the rest of this, since we have 10 movies to talk about in this
Yeah,
collection, I kind of want to give each of them their own little like spotlight. So I was thinking of just like having 5 minutes per movie.
that works.
just to kind of speed round these suckers. And to introduce each one, I have a little clip, like either a TV spot or a really short, like minute trailer.
Nice.
So yeah, let's get the ball rolling with Halloween.
Pull all of them out.
The one, the only, the classic Halloween.
I think he'll come back.
Halloween, the night he came home. Rated R.
Nice.
There it is.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
don't know
wearing my Halloween VHS stack.
I love that. Too. Yeah, I saw that on Instagram. Great shirt. Do you have any of the Halloweens on VHS?
Not anymore. No, I only ever had the first two, I think, and
Okay.
I think I gave them to that had a whole video that I was talking about.
Right. I think I have 1, 2, 3 and Resurrection randomly enough. But yeah.
Good.
Yeah, the original Halloween. I don't know what there is to say that nobody else is already like beaten to death. Yes, Halloween.
Right, yeah.
Here, I'll make you a little bigger if you want to show it off.
Oh, sure. It's that the cool black case before black cases were a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fancy. I love that they're all just the poster,
Yeah.
nice and simple.
I also like the disc artwork on these too. Like I'm a sucker for disc artwork. I think that helps just like make the release that much better. And just having the classic poster artwork on there.
Yeah. On both discs.
Yeah. So you have two. Oh, that's one thing we didn't touch on. My basic set, my slim set, only has 10 discs, and yours has 15.
This is 15. Yeah, I think the only I forget what all the differences are, but yeah, this is 1, 2. I think does this have like the TV cut, and that one doesn't, or something like that. I think it's 2 different cuts, maybe. I forget if it's 2 different cuts. Special features, audio commentary. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Mine has the footage, but not the actual like TV cut on the disc.
Yeah, so I think that's the Halloween 1. That's the main difference. That's what's cool about it. That's what made me buy the set. I'm like, I don't care that it's that many more discs, but just like what is on the discs is actually worth paying the extra money for.
Correct.
So the box looks cool as hell, and having them in individual cases is nice.
Right.
I don't know. I always like that better. But
do you remember the first
Halloween 1 was like a legit my like favorite movie when I was like 13 years old. Like I watched it like every day, and then I watched the second one obsessively after that as well. Those are the only 2 I ever really watched, though. I remember I watched 3, and I was like, my mom was like, "Don't, it's stupid." Like everyone thought back then, you know.
Yeah. So your parents are into horror movies too?
Yeah, I used to. The very first Halloween movie I ever watched was Curse of Michael Myers, because I rented it when it came out, so I saw it before I got obsessed with the first one. Oddly enough.
Lucky duck, yeah. No, my parents were the kind of like very Christian household. Like, oh, we don't watch that type of stuff. Like, it was hard for me even to watch The Simpsons in my house. So.
Oh yeah, that's all I watched. Yeah, I grew up with Freddy and stuff. That was my first horror franchise. I'd tape Jason movies off USA Up All Night and Toxic Avenger and watch those all the time.
Very nice.
Yeah, I watched a lot of stuff 5-year-olds shouldn't be watching, and they're all like still my favorite movie.
Right. Yeah, they stuck with you.
RoboCop, Total Recall, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. The first Halloween movie I think I watched when I was like for the first time 26, 27.
Oh, wow, really?
Very, very old. Yeah. But I gained appreciation for it because it's just such a sharp looking movie. It's even though it's one of Carpenter's first movies, that you couldn't tell because it's just amazing to look at. It's very artfully crafted and done.
It's very well done. Yeah, they got the master of the steady cam in that one. And it's who's the cinematographer? Is it Dean Cundy?
Yeah.
He's like, he can do anything.
Yeah.
He's like Steven Spielberg. He's like one of his 2 regular cinematographers, so he knows what he's doing.
Right.
And Halloween, I know. I just love it. Like I was like 12 years old, I think. Whatever age I was in 7th grade, I remember that was how old I was when I was obsessed with it. Because that was the last time I ever went trick-or-treating, and I was Michael Myers that year.
Yeah. So last year I went as Michael Myers, but as like the Nick Castle picture of Michael Myers, where like he has the mask up here and drinking a beer. Like that was just me during Halloween. It was the best.
Well, you can't wear that mask too long because that's kind of what I did. I got too hot walking around, so I'd have.
Oh my god, yeah.
So I understand you, Nick.
Yeah, I had the sucker on for maybe 10 minutes, and it was getting very sweaty and musky. I'm just like, nope, can't do it. Let's go.
Yeah, they're nasty.
Right.
I ended up ruining it, making a movie with my friends, but it was worth it.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a favorite part in this movie?
It's like I've seen it so many times. I like the whole thing. One of my favorite little pieces, though, is when what's her name? Nancy. Is it Nancy? She's one has to like clean her clothes because she gets shit all over them.
Mhm.
She goes to her car and it's locked, and she goes back to the house and grabs the keys, and she goes back into the car and it's unlocked, but she doesn't notice until she sees the fog on the window. Like I love like that little like subtle thing is like one of my favorite parts of that movie for
Yeah,
sure.
you've seen it so many times. You're just dissecting everything at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I just love
Mhm.
that. It's like, oh, wait, that's something wrong. Oh,
Right.
it's great. But
Yeah.
yeah, I love it.
Yeah. I've probably
It's
seen it like maybe 5 times
oh
in like the 8 years since I've been that age, but the thing that still I love every time is just seeing Michael Myers in the ghost in just the bed sheet.
oh yeah, just
Love
hanging
it
out,
every single time, man. It's the best.
strangling people, naked people with phone
Right.
wires.
Right.
Yeah, and he looks so good in that movie. Like that
Yeah.
was so like that. It's such a shitty mask, and they make it look so good.
Oh, the longer we go down this franchise, the shittier the mask gets. I don't know what they're doing, but and all they're doing is just like taking a William Shatner mask and just spray painting it white. I don't know how that's so hard to replicate in these movies, but it is.
Yeah, yeah. It's like all they did was like I think they cut off the sideburns, right, and the eyebrows or something
Mhm.
like that, or they
Yeah,
changed the
that
eyebrows a little
sounds
bit,
right.
and they made the eye holes a little bigger, and then painted it, and that's all it is. It's like, and it's amazing, and it has like more definition than like the professionally sculpted masks they have later on.
Right.
Who knows?
Okay, let's keep this
Deborah Hill had to
ball
ruin
rolling. Dean
it.
Cundy also came back for Halloween 2.
Yeah,
Here's a
Joker.
little like minute trailer for that. It's got the best, in my opinion, the best intro card with like the pumpkin opening up. I think that's in this trailer. So let's watch
Oh
it.
yeah, the credits are great.
Mwah, so beautiful.
From the people who brought you Halloween, more of the night he came home. Halloween 2.
You know, the thing that you liked, here's more of it.
Right, yeah. I mean, yeah, if you're gonna do a yeah, I love that skull pumpkin.
The
It's one of the
best.
things I'm like, I should get that tattooed on me somewhere.
They have a very
You're gonna
cool German steelbook of that where the lights actually like light up in his eyeballs. They're like red lights.
oh,
I
that's
want
cool.
it so bad, but it's like $300. There's no way I can buy it.
Jesus. Yeah, this
Mhm.
has the TV version too, yeah. The second disc is the
Very
TV
cool.
version
Yeah,
of
I only
Halloween
got
2.
the one disc.
I always forget about that. But yeah, Halloween. There was a time where I preferred Halloween 2 to Halloween 1 just because I think I watched Halloween 1 so many times as a kid that watching Halloween 2 slightly less times and it having
Okay.
more kills and just being a little newer made me like it more. But
I think the kills are like more brutal in the second one.
they're much, yeah, very much so because they actually went back and added more gore to it because they
Yeah.
wanted to compete with like the Friday the 13th and all that jazz
Right.
at the time. So they
Yeah.
went back and made it more gory,
Guy
which I mean,
slipping in like a pool of blood and like actually having your face ripped off by hot water. It's just
oh yeah, I love that scene. Yeah, I
very
did a
cool.
video about Halloween 2 last year when I was doing my October thing that I'm doing right now.
Mhm.
I talk about that scene specifically. Lady getting her head boiled.
Right.
That's the best kill in the movie for
It's
sure. But yeah, they're all pretty gnarly in that one.
yeah.
And I love that it's just a direct sequel from the first one. Like it just starts out, and it seems other than Jamie Lee Curtis's bad wig, you can't tell that it was like what 2 years later or 3 years later.
Yeah.
I think.
Mhm.
They do a damn good job of making it seem like the same day
Yep.
for sure. Even though John
Carpenter
Carpenter didn't
came
write a
back
sequel to
to
it.
write everything, and yeah, he's just like, I don't know how to make a sequel to this. Let's just continue what I already did.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think he really wanted to too. He's like, I want
Right.
more money because they screwed me.
Yeah.
That's the biggest reason they even made it.
If we know one thing about Carpenter, he loves money. So
He likes money and he doesn't want to make his own sequel.
correct. And really just wants to stay at home and play video games all day.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we can relate.
Yeah,
He's
living
cool
the
there.
dream, man.
Yeah, yeah. 2 is great though. That's like, I think it's really like since we won't be talking about them, the new trilogy.
Right.
I think I don't know. I don't like that they erase Halloween 2 from like the timeline because it's like it's a
Agreed.
perfect like
Yeah. Well,
matchup with the first movie. It's like why get rid of that one? It makes
yeah.
sense.
The main
Um,
reason why they did that, they kind of disconnected the whole brother-sister angle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they
Yeah.
wanted to get rid of that. It's like, why? It's like that's kind of gives the second one a purpose to me. I like it sort of takes away the mystery of why he's there in the first one, but
Mhm.
it also explains why he would keep being there,
Yeah.
which I don't mind, I
Yeah.
guess. I don't
You
know.
figure out the reason, which I don't think takes away from too much
Yeah,
from the first movie.
it's like they don't over-explain things like they do in later versions of this movie, like the Rob Zombie one. But
Yes.
they give the whole concept of purpose. It's like, why would he be so obsessed with that girl? She's no different than that other one down the street. Go kill her. But if it's his sister, it makes more sense.
Pretty much, yeah. He already killed
The
his first
Sarah
sister in
Connor
the
thing.
first one, yeah. Mhm.
But yeah, Halloween 2 has always been one of my all-time favorites easily. And until I bought this set, I think I should say, yeah, I had never seen Halloween's 4 and 5 until I bought this set and watched them
Hmm.
for some reason. Those just eluded me as a child.
Right. But you saw 6 in theaters. When you saw 6 in theaters, you're like, what the hell is going on
I
here?
didn't see it in theaters. My parents rented it and I watched it
Oh,
at
okay.
home. But still, yeah. I mean, I know like of Michael Myers, I
Yeah.
guess. And then I just like I probably liked it a decent amount. And then
What are all
I
these
don't know.
druids doing here? Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, I probably saw the first one after that. I know, but I don't know what like made me so obsessed with it. I think my mom just really liked it and she wanted me to watch it and I loved it. So that's
Mhm.
all it was. So it worked out in the long run, I guess.
It's good stuff. Like every time I watch 2, it makes me want to watch 1 and 2 back to back every time I see it. Just because
Yeah, I
it just
usually end up
feels like
watching
a
both.
complete combo.
Yeah, nice 3 hour long Halloween movie.
Right.
I forgot I was drinking out of my Spirit Halloween 2 glass
There
as
you
well.
go.
So
Very
there's
nice.
another Spirit Halloween merchandise.
Okay. There's Halloween 2. Now let's go to the very odd stepchild of the entire franchise, Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. This teaser trailer, when I saw it, I'm like, this is the one. There's multiple for every single movie. This one's like, okay, I like where this one's going. Let's take a look.
They're fun to watch.
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, the night no one comes home.
Oh, hey, look what we have here. Mr. Silver
Oh,
Shamrock.
leave it up too long.
Right.
I'm trying really hard to find that fast enough before that trailer ended.
Do you just have that one or do you have all 3?
I only have that one good one.
Gotcha.
I do have the little plastic witch one.
Plastic. Very nice.
I saw all 3 of these at one Spirit this year.
Nice.
And there's actually a year-round Halloween store that sells those masks too. So when Spirit runs out, I can go there anytime I want. But yeah,
Yep.
I love this. Is actually my favorite one now.
Oh, is it really?
Out of all of them,
You're one of those people.
yeah, I'm that guy.
Very
One
good.
of those types, as they say.
Yep.
This one's just the one disc.
Okay. I've only seen this movie once, and it was just so different. I was just like, I don't know what to think about this. This just feels wrong in this franchise.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah. When you watch it as a Halloween movie, it's not even bad. It's just like what.
Yeah.
But when you watch it as what it is, it's like an extremely fun, entertaining, more Halloweeny than Halloween actually is Halloween movie. So
Yep.
I've grown to love it since buying this set. I mean, I think I watched it, like I said, once when I rented it as a kid, just wanting to watch it out of curiosity, knowing what it was. It's like I went into it knowing it didn't have Michael Myers.
Yeah.
And it was still weird as hell. And then I don't think I watched it again until I bought this set, and I was like, oh, it was kind of fun. And then, fast forward 8 years or whatever, 10 years now, probably since the set came out.
Yep.
And yeah, I've just grown to love it, and my kid likes it too. I watched it with him like two or three
Nice.
times last year.
Man, this would be one that would freak my kids out just because kids actually die in this movie. Like the mask just like keep on crushing them.
Like it dissolves their heads, turns them into snakes and bugs somehow. Yeah, I love it. It's a fun actual Halloween movie about Halloween, unlike because like you can always say you can just take Halloween out of the first movie, it'd be the same movie.
Right.
It has nothing to do with the actual like plot necessarily.
Yeah. I know there was news like a week or two ago that A24 bought the TV rights to Halloween.
Did they? Yeah, I saw someone they were for sale or whatever. I didn't see who bought them.
I'm really hoping that they do more of an anthology angle and not anything Michael Myers related.
Yeah, that's cool. I hope that's what it is. Because when they first said that they're shopping around the rights,
I
was like, please make it an anthology TV show. That's all they should do with it.
That makes sense. That makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, I was like, Michael Myers. We're all Michael Myers out.
Yep. Just give me fun horror stories.
Yeah, just do exactly what Halloween 3 and going forward was supposed to be.
Correct.
But yeah. Keep watching it. It's great.
Yeah, I know that's the thing. Like out of all of these movies, that's the one I want to rewatch the most because the first time I was just like, I don't know if I'm in the mood for this movie. But every time I think about it, every time that I see clips from it, I'm like, I really just need to give this a second shot.
Yeah, I love the ending. It's like one of my all-time favorite endings in any movie.
Yeah.
And it's the best score out of all of them for sure. Ooh. It's like my favorite John Carpenter score probably. I like it more than the first one for the most part. Like outside of like the Halloween theme, the score in the first one isn't like amazing. Like it's really good. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Just simple piano.
Like the entire score of the third one is great. It's so good.
And that's saying a lot. Carpenter makes amazing soundtracks, and he can make it just from like the simplest things. But yeah,
exactly.
I don't think I could recall what the score to Halloween 3 was just because I've only seen it once.
Yeah, it's a lot of. Yeah, it's similar, but I just think I just like it more. No, I could listen to it when I'm driving around all the time.
Sure.
I like listening to his Lost Themes albums too. That's like the number one thing I listen to in the car.
Yeah. He could just come out with those every other year and I'd listen to it. There's 3 of them now, right?
Yeah, I think there's 3. I don't think I've heard the third one because I don't own records or anything. So I don't need to buy more stuff. But the first 2 I just listen to like on my Amazon Music when I plug my phone into my car or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they're great. I love the first one especially. Like I listened to that hundreds of times probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, they're very, very good. Carpenter, I have a few of his vinyls and I can just listen to them back and forth. And I like how his kid is helping out with the soundtrack. Cody Carpenter, yeah.
He came live 5 or 6 years ago now. Like 5 minutes from my house.
Oh, really?
Playing at a concert.
Wow.
It was in November, and it was 2 weeks to the day, or 2 weeks-ish before my kid was due.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I should probably not get tickets for it, just in case. We have the kid.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, 2 weeks early, here he comes.
Oh man.
So he was those 2 days after he was born, when we were still in the hospital with him, was the night of the concert. And the funny thing is, the concert venue is like a mile, if that, away from the hospital.
What
I could have walked there from the hospital and seen the concert.
That's crazy.
But then I would have been a really shitty dad, probably.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I was like, God damn it! I want him to come back so bad now, because that was when he was doing the tour, playing all of his scores. I think it wasn't his new music; it was all of his themes.
Very cool.
Like, oh damn it! Like, at least I was smart enough not to get the tickets in advance.
Mm-hmm. I wish I was able to, if he was anywhere near me, that I would go and see him. In Iowa, we don't get a lot of people, let alone just like scores playing live anywhere.
Right. Yeah. I just think it's funny that it was at the club so close to me. It's like, oh no. It's like literally the next town over, like across the street from the Best Buy I go to. And then the 16th of this month, Goblin is playing downtown too.
Are they doing it to Demons? Is that what they're doing?
Doing the Demon score. I'm like, I do that too, but it's like the weekend of my wife's birthday, and I'm like, and it was even for like the nosebleed seats, it was like more than I wanted to pay.
Right.
It's like, next time. It's never good timing whenever like a show I want to go see comes around. Correct. Either COVID cancels it or I have a kid.
Yep. Life anyhow, man.
All those things.
Well, let's see here. Okay, let's jump over to number 4. We got the return of Michael Myers here. These 4 and 5, I picked some VHS commercials because those are the ones that I'm just like, okay, let's get like in the time frame of these movies, and hopefully that'll help us like talk about them a little bit. It's
the only way people saw these movies.
Right.
Tonight, an evening of harmless TV watching will become a night of unholy terror. Michael Myers is going to scare you to death on video cassette. Halloween 4, The return of Michael Myers coming to video cassette.
Love the glowing eyes on there.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, the
Mhm.
transition of the mask. Yeah, this case and poster are just like a tease, though, because he does not look this good in the movie. That's for damn sure.
No, God, no.
This is my. I know it's probably controversial to think this because a lot of people just love Halloween 4 so much.
Mhm.
This is the worst mask in the franchise. I'm sorry. It's not this one, not that one, the real one.
Yeah.
Well, I can't see because they lit it well.
Mhm.
Yeah, this one's just a single disc or two. Yeah, I like Halloween 4. It's a good return to form, and I like that it has a story that attempted to progress into something more
Right.
that they backpedaled and screwed up immediately. But as you know, as an alternate Halloween 3, I think it does the job fairly well.
Yeah. It definitely like has the same tone as 1 and 2 did for sure.
Yeah, it's even more fall-like, I'd say. Like, out of all of them, it's probably the most Halloween-y.
The title cards of
Feeling.
4, oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah,
Gets you
like
right in
that.
that fall mood.
Exactly, yeah, because I actually watched or because I bought this when my wife was on vacation, I was saying before, YOLOing myself and treating myself, and I think I watched the first one, and I told her about it, I watched the first one, and she's like, "Oh, wait and watch the rest of them with me when I get back," because I haven't seen the other ones. I'm like, damn it! I can't even watch this box set I was gonna watch when you were gone. So I ended up watching all of the special features instead. So that I was like getting 4 and 5 like completely spoiled for me with the special features, but I was like, it doesn't matter anyways.
Yeah.
let,
Man.
let me guess, he dies and then comes back. Like, what else is gonna happen?
Yeah. Just in
Yeah.
preparation for the podcast, I did watch a couple of the special features as well.
Nice.
And God, Scream Factory back in the day made some amazing special features. Like really got
Yeah.
in depth, a lot of character, or a lot of actor interviews about their process and just what their feelings were on the movie and what it is and what kind of like presence it has now. Just very good detailed stuff. I love those.
Yeah, they were doing better back then. Like, there's any special feature they have is usually good. It's just a matter of whether or not they put the effort into them. But yeah, I've always liked Halloween 4 since I watched it. Like I said, the first time I ever saw it was in this set, and then I think I watched it again last year on when I bought the 4Ks.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob.
How's it going, Bob? Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm gonna try to sneak these in. I looked at the like normally I show the comments at the end, but I saw over there and there's like 125 of them.
Yeah.
Like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
you can just throw them up as you go. That's what I usually do.
Yep. Let's start
Hey,
going.
Wilkie.
Yeah.
Subscribe to Wilkie.
Yes, he just started.
I still need to. I feel bad, but do that.
I am so happy he's actually creating a channel now. It's great. Movie Hunter, how's it going? I have a controversial opinion. I've only, like I said, I watched all of these for the first time back in 2017, and 4 I wasn't the biggest fan of at all. I thought it was a little boring.
It is slower, that's for sure. I do like that they tried to like do the whole Jamie Lloyd, is that the right name, ending where she becomes like the new Michael. Like, I like that. It's actually something, and then they just fuck it up, like I said.
See, I hated that. I thought that
really?
came out of nowhere, and I was just
It does come out of nowhere, but so did he in the first one.
They're just trying to shock at this point. Yeah. Because even in the marketing, like when I watched the special features on this, like even in the marketing, it was like there's a big twist ending. So I feel like that's the only reason why they threw that in.
Oh, weird.
Mhm.
Speaking of marketing, my favorite thing is the Halloween 2 poster saying the words "all new" on it, just because people were confused by sequels still back then.
Oh wow.
It's like, you think the 2 would explain it enough that it was a
Nope.
different movie, but I guess people are dumb back in 1981. Who knows? Hey, Johnny. Hi, Tiana.
Yeah. How's it going, Tiana?
Hey, Trey. I
Trey.
don't know you, but hi.
What
Hi,
up,
Mel.
Mel? Mhm. I'm
Mel's
trying to
always
think of
everywhere.
any kills from Halloween 4 either. Like none of them are really coming to mind.
The best one is the very first one when he wakes up in the hospital, even though he's been dead, or it's been like 10 years, right? He was like
Yeah.
in jail for 10 years, and then he's
Something
like,
like that. Mhm.
after the explosion that he survives, and he's for some reason still in fresh bandages. It's like, it's been 10 years. Why is he so
Right.
bandaged up?
Yeah. That is a cool look, though. I like the bandage
Yeah.
look of Michael.
It looks
Mhm.
cool for how they use it, and then
Yeah.
he stabs
Oh.
his thumb into the guy's forehead. That's
Yeah.
the best. Yeah.
That was another thing about the marketing of Halloween 4. They marketed it as it was going to have no gore, like when they were getting interviewed during the making of, and then they had test audience screenings, and they're like, "Oh, people want gore. Okay, let's just add these in post." Like the thumb was
That's one of them they added. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know that,
Mhm.
and I forget what else they did, but that one was for sure one of them that they added after the fact. It's just funny because like, but apparently just do the gore.
Yeah.
Halloween 1's the only one that can get away with being classy.
Pretty much. Mm-hmm.
Because Jason ruined it for everybody after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Johnny flips his
I've
slips.
always liked 4, but it's never been my favorite.
Gotcha. That's good to know. And surprisingly enough, the next one we're going to talk about, I actually like quite a bit, which I don't think is the popular opinion on any of these, or for anybody that I've talked to really heard from.
No.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
I'll talk about it a little bit, but let's show the 15-second stinger of Halloween 5.
Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, coming to video cassette.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Yeah, no, 5 and 6 I think are going to be like that, just that classic 4-3.
Nice. Yeah, 5. I don't think it's not my least favorite. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't like it as much as 4 because I like the ending of 4 and that it's actually like they were trying to do something.
Right.
5 is just like weird as hell, but that's also why I like 5.
I don't really like to like quantify movies in like the so bad it's good category, but I found 5 enjoyable just because of how wonky it was and how like things are just getting thrown in from left and right corners. Like now the main girl, she just can't talk because she had a traumatization moment with her as the killer, so now she's just mute. It's just to write everything down.
They have to figure it out how to like explain that away. It's like, oh yeah, she killed her mom, but yeah, now she's mute and she's in a place.
Right.
And there's a man in black for some reason. We'll explain it in 10 years from now or whatever the hell it was.
And literally, they threw that guy in just because Mustafa Akkad wanted to have a stinger from 5 to 6 and have people just wanting to see 6 to see what that man in black was about. But they literally just threw him in not knowing like what the hell he was going to do.
Yeah, and they still barely explained it.
Pretty much, yeah.
6
is a bad movie because of that, I think.
Yeah. 5 is a very European movie, you can tell, because it's like a European director.
Yeah.
Like, I do like his mask better in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, it's not that mask. it's because the fourth one is just like nothing. And then there's an awesome shot in the fourth one where it's like a pink mask with like white hair for some reason. I love that. But this one, he's like very pointy. Like he's like, I don't know why. He's like witch-like.
I love how there's like farmhouse kills. I don't know why that does something to me, but it doesn't. He's got that giant scythe. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, yes, he has. That's the fifth one.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Yeah.
And he has that other like weird mask, like the big like old-fashioned cartoon mask that he wears for like that one sequence.
Yeah.
A lot of people hate what's her name in this. Tina, is that her name? The brunette girl.
Yeah, I don't. I
was like everyone hates her, and I'm like, I don't know. She at least has a personality, unlike most of the other characters in the movie. I'm like, why are you hating on her for? She's at least a person,
right?
But all the other characters are complete idiots in there. Yeah.
One person.
It's the most Friday the 13th like of any of the Halloweens.
And I think that might be why I liked it a little bit, just because it is like very slasher-esque for sure.
Yeah, which that thought just occurred to me now for the first time. I'm like, wait, it is really like it reminds me a lot of like Friday 3.
Right, and kind of thinking back about it, like when Michael Myers like crawls out of like just barely misses the explosion, floats down the river, again. And then just hides out in a hidey hole for a year. I did not really put two and two together. That's like Halloween Ends, really. He's just hiding in the sewers in that movie too.
Yeah. Crazy old guys helping him, and then I don't know.
I feel like that new trilogy just took a lot of stuff that already happened in the previous movies and just like, oh hey, we'll talk about it, but we won't talk about it. If you know, you know. If you don't, then whatever.
Yeah, we'll mention it, but it's not included in our canon.
Right. No, that has its own very beautiful Steelbook trilogy box set now.
Yeah, it's really cool, but I don't need it.
No,
I don't have Halloween Ends yet, and it was super cheap today. Actually, just the regular 4K was like $10.
Yeah,
so I'm like, that's about right.
Yeah, I like the ending to Ends, but a lot of that movie is just like, oh my god, is this gonna end?
It's pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even blame Corey for that. I didn't mind him.
Sure.
It was that's a whole other stream. I did that stream last year already on Bob's channel where we just complained about it for 2 hours with several other people. It was great though.
Yeah. No, once I saw that, I wanted to just like have a bitch fit with my friends too. But yeah, I watched it on Peacock. I did not go to theaters to see that.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's like I don't see a lot of stuff in theaters nowadays because it's hard when you have a kid and all that jazz. All those things, but I did manage to see all 3 of those Halloween movies in theaters, which was
Nice.
fun because it's a fun thing to go see in theaters.
Right.
And I like Halloween Kills a lot more than most people because it's
Yeah.
so damn fun and gory and stupid.
Yep.
So I like it for what it is. But
yeah, it's very stupid. But after seeing Ends, I like Kills more just because it is just like a slashing good time.
Yeah, it's just a good entertaining romp of a slasher movie. It wasn't trying to like be clever and failing miserably.
Right. Okay, that's 5. I think we've talked enough about 5. I don't know how long we want to talk about this next movie, Curse of Michael Myers. Hopefully, the trailer here will be.
How long do you have?
To talk about? Oh my god! If you want to talk about this, talk my ear off because woof.
Every legend is based on fact. Every myth is grounded in truth. For 17 years, the town of Haddonfield, Illinois, has been haunted by a night when evil roamed the streets and a madman ruled the night. Everyone knows his name. Now, everyone will know the truth.
I knew what he was, but I never knew why.
Halloween 6, the origin of Michael Myers.
Soon! I love that he got one of them with the many alternate titles.
Yeah.
Halloween 666, the origin of Michael. I don't think I've even heard the origin of Michael Myers. I've only
they
heard
were just
666.
throwing everything at the wall at this movie, just hoping that people come to see it. But oh my god, this is like the only movie that I really wanted to turn off when I was watching it because I was so bored.
I like it more than most people. Like this is the first one I ever saw, so it has a little bit of nostalgia for me.
Sure.
You know, like I didn't really like know what the hell I was watching at the time.
Yeah.
And this is the best. The main reason I bought this set was because it had the 2 cuts of this movie.
Sure.
It had the regular cut and the producer's cut, which I prefer. The producer's cut. I think the ending is better. It's weird. This whole movie is just weird.
Do you know what it changes? The producer's cut and the
it's the end. Oh god, there's a lot of weird stuff. I haven't seen the theatrical cut in so long that I can't remember for sure what the differences are.
Sure.
But I know in the producer's cut they allude to him trying to have like an incest baby with Jamie to continue the bloodline of like the Thorn curse thing. Blah blah blah. Yeah. And at the end of the producer's cut, the Curse of Thorn moves to Loomis and off of Michael Myers. So that's kind of, I thought that was cool and at least something different. I've always enjoyed that one. It has some fun kills in it. And Michael Myers is a badass in this movie. Like he's so much cooler in this movie than he is in like Halloween 4 and 5 at the very least. And he's like a lot scarier and his mask is cooler. So that's one thing. Yeah, I don't know. It's not great, but I enjoy it. And I love seeing really bad acting Paul Rudd.
Me too. He made it somewhat enjoyable, but even like he's still trying to figure himself out too as an actor.
Yeah, he's so awkward in this movie. It's like, he's like, good for you, but you don't know what the hell you're doing. But yeah, I've always enjoyed 6. It's one I always end up watching every year, even though I'm like this one's not good. Let's watch 6 for some reason. Right. And I know a few of the kills are changed between each cut. Like there's one where the asshole stepdad dies, like head explodes, and then one where it doesn't, and I don't remember every little thing, but the biggest change is like the ending that I remember, where instead of them killing Michael Myers, like fighting him in the hallway with a pipe or something stupid, they the Curse of Thorn transfers to Loomis, and that's like the cliffhanger ending it ends on.
Oh really?
And I think that's kind of cool. But
man, get Thorn out of
the Thorn trilogy, as it's called, 4, 5, and 6.
Yuck. This set, it only comes with a theatrical version. So I think the main reason why I would open up this 4K collection is to finally see the producer's cut, because it's in this one, right?
I think it has both. Yeah, it has both. Yeah, it has the 4K version of both. That's why it was cool.
Right.
Yeah. That's why that one's like a fat case compared to the other two. It's a bigger case.
Gotcha.
Because it has 4 discs in it or something like that.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Literally, I have nothing to add to this conversation. I barely remember this movie. I just remember not liking it at all.
You haven't been watching it since you were 11 years old, like me?
Definitely have it. No, if you are,
When
more
it
power
came
to
out
you,
in
man. Someone
1995.
has
10
to.
years. I was 10. I was 10 years old, I guess.
Yeah.
That's funny. But yeah, I've always been like, I probably still like it at least as much as Halloween 4
Sure.
for partial nostalgic reasons and just because it's like so weird reasons. Like the whole Halloween 5 thing you said, it's so bad it's good.
Right.
Fun side of it. That's what Halloween 6 is to me.
Mm-hmm. Very early 90s too. Like there's a lot of horror from that time frame where it just like doesn't click with me. Something's off. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that was when Halloween horror movies were dying, right? And
Yeah, right.
95 essentially was at its most dead before Scream came out.
Mm-hmm. Man. In the comments talking about A24 and stuff. Have you seen the trailer for the Iron Claw yet?
Yeah, I watched it today actually. It looks cool. I love me
the
some
Von
wrestling.
Erichs. Yeah. Love me some wrestling every now and again. And yeah, seeing a movie with jacked guy from Shameless and Zac
Jeremy
Efron.
Allen White, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Should be pretty dang good.
Yeah, it looks good. And then the Von Erich story is interesting.
Yes, it is.
Even though it's horrible and sad.
Yep. But if
it's like, I
nobody
already know
knows
everything that's going to happen in this movie, but I still really want to watch it.
Yeah. Especially if people don't know what they're walking into as well. I think they'll be entertained to say the very least.
The casual hipster A24 fans know what a Von Erich is, so they'll get a kick out of it.
Mm-hmm. And like wrestling movies the past 20 years have been like The Wrestler and now The Iron Claw, like very artsy fartsy movies.
Yeah, I love The Wrestler. That's one of my favorite Darren Aronofsky movies, at least, if not my favorite one, honestly.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, getting back onto the Halloween train, we finally get Laurie Strode back into the mix with Halloween H2O. Let's show a little TV trailer for this one.
Four students are about to learn
Whoever you think I am.
Their teacher's terrifying secret.
Who is that? My brother. Michael!
Critics call Halloween H2O sensational. Smart and non-stop scary, Jamie Lee Curtis makes a triumphant return. Finally, a sequel that lives up to the original. Halloween H2O.
Does it?
Yeah, I remember renting this when it came out too, because that was good.
Yeah, Halloween H2O. It's fine.
I like it. I used to love this one, because I used to love watching Halloween 1, 2, and this, which is like the best example of a Jamie Lee Curtis Halloween trilogy that exists, in my opinion. Like I like Halloween 2018, but
where does
you don't get to count Halloween 2 in that? So hey,
yeah.
If
it's 1, 2, and H2O, where does Resurrection fit in?
Yeah, that's the fourth one.
Right.
It counts, sort of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
H2O is fun to rewatch just because of the cast they have in there. It's just like quintessential 90s. Like Scream was a hit, so this is just falls right into like that ballpark of all those.
This is definitely the Scream version of Halloween, which is what everything was after Scream came out.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's got Michelle Williams, who's amazing. Like I could have given a shit about her when this came out. I don't know who she was, and I never watched whatever show she was on. Again, was it Dawson's Creek? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I believe so.
But like now, I love her. She's an amazing actress,
right?
And Josh Hartnett's awesome. I've always liked him. It's got LL Cool J, which you have to have a rapper in your horror movie back in the 90s. That was the law.
Definitely prefer this one over the next one that we'll talk about. But yeah, LL Cool J is actually an actor in this movie.
Yeah. At least he tries. He's in more than one thing, at least. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I've always liked H2O. It's really short. I'm always like amazed how short this movie is. It's like under 90 minutes long. And if it would have ended where it did, it would have been a solid ending to a awkward series. But the way they did it, they sort of explain away 4, 5, and 6, but they didn't like completely ignore it. Like
right. Because what in 4 the main thing was that like she died, right? And that's why she wasn't in it. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, she's like, oh, that's her daughter, and she's dead now.
Yeah.
And this one's like, oh, apparently she lived, but she kept her son. Sophie's choiced her daughter in Halloween 4. But yeah, H2O is fun. I like it for what it is. It's a 90s horror movie and the masks are just ugly as hell.
Oh my god, yeah, I saw that. Terrible. I don't know what they were doing there.
Yeah, there's I think 4 different masks in this movie.
Yeah.
It's like that's the first thing you should plan. Like if you're making a Halloween movie, figure out the mask first and then make your movie. Don't start making your movie and then figure out the mask while you're producing the movie because it doesn't end well. Although as like a kid, I used to watch this all the time on VHS. I never noticed they were different. Like I'm stupid. I don't know. And I never noticed the CGI mask shot on VHS. You can notice it on Blu-ray and 4K for sure.
Of course, yeah. Uh-huh.
But on VHS, you know, the one shot, it's passable. But at least it has the kid from Jumanji in it, so that's something.
That's a win. It's a win in my book. Yeah, H2O is fun enough. It does the job. I don't really have too much to say about this one either. It's pretty run of the mill when it comes to Halloween stuff.
It's just a 90s slasher movie with Michael Myers in it.
Yep.
Nothing bad, nothing perfect.
Right.
Nothing groundbreaking, put it that way.
No. If you want to talk about groundbreaking though, we got to talk about Busta Rhymes in Halloween Resurrection because oh my god, on another level, folks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's see some of this stuff.
Get ready.
The home has been rigged up with several cameras
for a new experiment.
Are you sure they're not just putting us in some house with hidden cameras in the shower?
This is gonna be fun.
In terror.
All the doors will be locked shut behind them.
Everyone can see you. Everyone can hear you.
What just happened?
But on July 12th, no one can help you.
Want a piece of me?
Halloween Resurrection.
Trick or treat, mother.
Radar in theaters everywhere. Friday, July 12th.
Oh, I love it.
Weird, it came out in July.
Yeah. For some reason, I think H2O did too. I think H2O came out in like August or something.
So bizarre.
Yeah, and then I remember, I have a soft spot for Resurrection.
Yeah.
Just because it was the first Halloween movie I got to see in theaters.
Okay.
And I saw it twice in theaters. Mainly because I worked there and I didn't have to pay for it. But also because I loved Halloween at the time still. And I don't hate this movie. Like, it is what it is. It's like, it's bad, sure. And like, does it need to be a Michael Myers movie? No. It could be like any horror movie in this scenario and it'd be the same movie. But as a concept, it's not like the worst thing ever. And it has an okay cast of people.
Right.
Especially Busta Rhymes. But
Tyra Banks is pretty good in it too. Like I think the cast is feasible. The plot, like the way they have the little spy glasses, just kind of live streaming everything before live streaming is really a thing. I don't know, pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't get the hate. I get why it's not loved like the original or something like that. But I always have fun with it. I don't complain. It's one I always go back to. I'm like, oh yeah, this movie's so stupid. I like it. But yeah, I'm what the kids call a res-tard, a Halloween Resurrection fan.
Is that what the kids say?
I didn't coin that phrase. I heard it. I heard it on a different show, but I just thought it was hilarious. So I had to mention it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Halloween 8 Resurrection. Yeah, the Jamie Lee Curtis getting murdered in the beginning is sad though, because she wanted to kill him in the last one, and then in order for them to shoot the shot of or cutting the head off thing, they had to shoot the alternate ending where with the whole ambulance driver switcheroo. Like they shot that during H2O just to make everybody happy, essentially, just in case they wanted to make another one. But of course they were going to, because H2O was actually like good and people saw it.
Yep. I'm kind of I wonder how much they paid her just to come back to kill her.
Oh god. Oh, and the 8th one, a good amount. I'm sure. She wasn't in as much back then. I was like her, like kind of, I don't know. In the early 2000s, Jamie Lee Curtis wasn't showing up in much besides like Freaky Friday remakes.
Right.
So probably not as much as she would nowadays. Now that she's an Academy Award winner.
Just always remember, she was the spokesperson for Activia. Never forget.
Yeah. Never forget. She has diarrhea.
She's one of us. Okay. Well, Resurrection. I don't think it's as bad as people say. I agree with you. But now we're kind of going into the zombie verse. And this franchise, this duology here, they have their fans. But let's get kind of sucked into that world, because it is definitely like in its own little pocket of this universe.
Most definitely, yes.
Take that thing off. Beneath the mask.
Michael?
Behind
behind the madness
What kook are we moving tonight?
Michael Myers.
Trick or treat, baby.
comes a legendary tale as it's never been told.
These are the eyes of a psychopath.
Halloween.
Is that the boogeyman?
On the 2-disc unrated director's cut on DVD Tuesday.
We need the boogeyman. Yeah, there that is. Love this poster is amazing. All the credit in the world of this poster. Yeah, I don't like this, but I don't like despise it or anything. Like, I don't know.
Right.
It's one of those things where like it was like my least favorite one of these. I think it probably is just because it's unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but at least it's unique enough to like warrant existence, I guess.
Right. Yeah. If you're gonna make a remake, don't do the same stuff that's already happened.
Yeah. Don't Psycho 1998 it.
Oh God, no. Yeah, I think they learned the lesson with that one.
Yeah, he definitely made it a Rob Zombie version of Halloween,
for better or for worse. Yep.
Yeah, it's like they show way too much of his like backstory.
That's how he really wanted to stand out, is just to get like more like child Michael Myers in there.
Yeah, it's like I get that's like the whole reason he wanted to do it, and it makes sense because you want to do your own thing and make it different, so that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it kind of ruins the whole mystique of the character. Not enough that I can't watch this one, but I usually rarely do. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
But like when he is, like the second half of the movie that is the actual Halloween remake, it's a halfway decent Halloween remake.
Yeah,
and I like some of the cast in it. I like William Forsythe. I always like him in anything.
I like how Danielle Harris came back in here too.
Yep, she's in them, and Brad Dourif is cool.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually amazing in Halloween too. Like when his daughter gets killed or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're way too good in this movie.
Right.
He's too good of an actor to be in this. Yeah, and he looks cool. Tyler Mane is like a badass, scary
Huge,
guy. Like,
menacing
I buy him as someone who could walk around and murder people.
Agree.
That's for true.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Sabretooth is cool.
Yeah. He's definitely not the Shape anymore, though. He's just like he's the Force, really. Like he does some damage.
Yeah. He's just like giant. Yeah, they just turned him into like Jason.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like what
he's like remake Jason and remake Michael Myers.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah,
same character.
Yep.
They're both cool. Like when you're watching them do stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
other than that, yeah.
I think out of these two remakes, I would prefer Friday the 13th over Halloween, though.
I think I do too. Yeah. Not by a ton. It's more fun, that's for sure.
Would I suggest either of them? Probably not.
Yeah, it's like I like the Friday the 13th remake was smart because obviously you can't remake the first Friday the 13th as Friday the 13th because everyone wants Jason.
Yep.
So the way they smushed Halloween Friday the 13th is like 1, 2, and 3 and sort of 4 all into one movie. It was smart of them, so they did it the right way for sure. Right. This one is just like, yeah, it's the same movie, but with rednecks, and it's an hour longer.
Mm-hmm. Way more cursing than you remember.
Yeah. With a lot more skullfuckery talk.
Yeah. I kind of wish that the Friday the 13th reboot would have gotten a sequel. I kind of liked the realm that it was going. But it didn't make a lot of money, and the Halloween remake did pretty dang well.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that it did okay too. Like the Friday the 13th remake, I think it's just mostly the rights issues with that. All that stuff it's still wonky.
Right. Hopefully they get that figured out.
They could have easily made another one by now for how expensive those movies are to make.
Right,
it cost $10 million to make, and it made like $40 million like opening weekend or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It made a good amount of money.
For some reason they decided to make a sequel to Halloween 2. Zombie didn't want to come back for it really at all, but they gave him complete and total creative freedom with this one. They're just like, go crazy, and he definitely
it shows.
Did. Yeah. Let's show the trailer for this one.
I'm Michael Myers' sister.
On August 28th,
evil is here. It's walking amongst us.
Call 911. There's blood everywhere.
you can run.
He's gonna kill me.
You can hide.
What do you want from me?
Or
Lori,
you can fight.
Give me the gun.
Like hell. Rob Zombie completes his extreme version of terror. Halloween 2, rated R.
August. Once again in August.
Uh-huh.
I think the other one did too. She's really whiny. Good Lord. I don't remember her being that whiny in these movies. I was like,
in that one, I saw the 666 again, which I
oh,
didn't
did you?
notice before on the door. Yeah, with like the pentagram thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. That's
Mhm.
funny.
I don't know. This movie pretty much plays out like a music video at times, and that I don't
Yeah.
don't know. I don't think that fit too much at all.
You know,
All
I like this more than the other hit Rob Zombie one
You
a little
do?
bit, just
Okay.
because it's so different,
Yeah.
and it's at least like not just doing the same thing all over again.
Mhm.
So I respect that. And like I said, Brad Dourif's amazing in this movie. If you watch it
Mhm.
just for him. But yeah, it's just for its complete utter weirdness and being different than any other Halloween movie. I give it points for that, but that's about the only reason I would rather watch it. Because if I want to watch Halloween 1, I could just watch Halloween 1. But if I want to watch a really weird Halloween 2, I can watch it.
The white horse of it all, just his
Yeah.
mom, I hate. I'll just say I hate it. It
He's gotta
doesn't
get his wife in there somewhere. Come on.
man, he
Can't make a
doesn't
movie
have
without
to
her.
though. That's the thing. He doesn't have to. He feels obligated to, and yeah, the majority of the time it's okay. This one it's just like, oh, okay, this feels like you're force feeding something.
Right. And he does the way he looks in this one, which like it's sort of a natural progression from the first one. He just doesn't even look like Michael Myers anymore.
Right.
He's just like a dude in half a mask with a hoodie
Mhm.
on. I was
Yep.
like, all right. But
Just looks like a reject from House of a Thousand Corpses or something. It's just like
yeah, pretty much, yeah, yeah.
mhm.
It's very Rob Zombie. It's the most Rob Zombie Halloween movie, that's for sure. But yeah, like I respect that he just did whatever the hell he wanted, and it's at least coherent enough to watch.
Sure.
It's not my favorite Rob Zombie movie, that's for sure.
Out of both of these movies, I don't know if I ever see myself rewatching either of them. I don't think I'm
Yeah.
ever going to be in the mood to watch zombies Halloweens. I'd rather watch any other Halloween, I think.
Yeah, 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 they're the last ones I watch if I rewatch them. I mean, obviously I kinda watch them in order anyways, but
Mhm.
I saw the first Halloween in theaters, Rob Zombies, I mean,
Yeah.
and I thought it was fine, like, I enjoyed it enough at the time, and then the second one I just heard was so bad, I just didn't give a shit at all
Yeah.
by the time it came out, I don't think. And then I don't think I rewatched it until I bought this set, and I think I've watched each of these once or twice since I bought
Mhm.
the set, 10 years ago, so
Right.
but all the other ones I probably watched at least 3 or more times by example.
Mhm.
Yeah, I haven't there's no 4Ks for those 2 for a reason, let's put it that way.
Give it time,
There
especially
will be.
it's Lionsgate, right?
Yeah,
I can see them coming out with I don't unless it's like in a like legal court somewhere and who knows who has the property rights. But
right.
seeing a steel book, a 4K slipcover steel book for both of those, I would probably double dip just because I can see them doing crazy things with it.
If they made it cool enough and it was only like $20, I'd consider it.
Right.
But
And
then
I
I'd
think
have to get that 6, 7, 8 set
yeah.
just to have them all, and then I could
Right.
sell this for $20 because that's all it'll be worth by then.
It'll still hold its value. I think the franchise as a whole doesn't matter if it's Blu-ray or 4K. It'll yeah.
Yeah, it's too cool to get rid of it for anything. I'd rather, like, gift it to someone who really needs it than
Right.
sell it
Mhm.
after having the upgrade.
Yeah. I am kind of curious if all of these will at some point get the Screen Factory treatment, especially with the slipcovers. I think that was smart. I'd like the box set of the Blu-rays, but having each of their own, like having like a hard box slipcover on these new Screen Factory ones.
Yeah,
I'm hoping they all get that treatment at some point, whether it takes years or not.
yeah. Well, they've already done most of them. It's kinda lame, though, that the only way you can buy 5, 6 or 6, 7, and 8 is in that set.
Yeah. I think it's the only way they would get the rights for them, right?
I
Is
think
if
yeah, I
they
think
did
that's the
all of
only way
them.
they allowed them to do
Right.
it was if they sold all 3 of them
Yeah.
together because they probably thought everyone just wanted H2O and they
Hmm.
wanted to sell all of them, which I get. I mean, you could just take them out of the box if you really don't want and put them on next to the shelf next to the other ones,
Correct.
or make a big fancy box for all of them.
Yeah.
People have done all that stuff.
So, do you have the 4Ks for a lot of these, or
Just the first 5. I bought them all
okay?
last when they did their 10th anniversary sale or whatever. They were like 18.99 or something,
Yeah.
which is very reasonable for a Scream Factory 4K in a hard box. So I was like, okay,
Right.
I'll finally pull the trigger on those. I think that's all I bought during that sale. And their sale is going on right now. I think it ends what, the 13th?
Yeah, it's only a week this year. Mhm.
Yeah, which is yeah, that's weird.
Mhm.
I would get it if the sale was, good, but there's their October sales aren't as good as they were 5 years ago when I started buying these things. Yeah, so the only thing I'd even consider getting would be the Halloween 6, 7, 8 set just because it's half off. But
Sure.
I don't need it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I forgot to show these off when we were talking about the movies, but I did want to talk about the steelbooks for some
Yeah,
of
they're
these
cool. Yeah,
because they look amazing. I love Halloween 2. I think that looks awesome. They have different artwork on the inside than the other ones did too. Just
yeah, even the discs are different.
Yeah, the disc artwork is
Yeah.
different. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then here's one for Halloween 3 as well. Amazing artwork. I just ripped the J card. Oh my god.
If that makes you feel any better, I did this to this thing when I opened it.
Oh no.
Big tear right there from the J card.
Oh no.
I was like, well, fuck me, right?
Yeah. Well, it's on the bottom. It's on the bottom. You barely notice.
Yeah, at least it's on the bottom, but it's just like
you're the only one who notices. Yeah.
I'll color it with a Sharpie and no one will care.
Right. Love the imagery for 3 on this.
Yeah,
one.
3. Those are awesome steelbooks. Those are like 2 of my favorite ones.
Mm-hmm. Then we got
I was really gung ho on getting like the standard versions of all of them because that's what I started collecting. So I only have a few of the steelbooks from them, but those are 2 of my favorite ones. Those are the first 2 movies they released.
Is that how you are as a collector? Like if you collect like slip covers for one, but a very cool steelbook comes out, you'll still just like stick with the slip cover just because you have them?
I mean, I don't care for most things. And now I probably care less, honestly, because I stopped collecting all the collector's editions.
Mm-hmm.
I was just specifically trying to get the collector's editions of them.
Right.
Series. So, and the first one I tried to get that was completely out of print was Life Force. Was out of print, and I was like, damn it. And I don't care if it has a slipcover. I just wanted like them all to kind of look the same.
Sure.
And that was out of print, and then they released that in steelbook. So I bought that steelbook with the day it came out, just so I'd at least have Life Force from Screen Factories. But I think that's one of the only like 3 or 4 steelbooks from them I have.
Right. They've come out with a ton of steelbooks too.
Yeah. I was like I have them all, the normal versions. I don't need them. Like I got the Army of Darkness 4K steelbook because I have the Army of Darkness standard Blu-ray. So I'm like, if I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it because it's different.
Right.
But yeah, other than that, I'm like, whatever. I don't need 14 of the same movie taking up space.
God, yeah, I only do that with like movies that I absolutely love. Like The Thing, I will own as many copies as I can get my hands on. And, yeah, there's only a couple titles. If it's just a random movie, one is enough for me for sure.
Yeah, I think I have 3 RoboCops, and that's the most of anything I have. And even those, I'm like, I'd sell 2 of these.
Mm-hmm. Johnny's talking about your experience with Carpenter right down the road.
I could have walked there. Come on, that's ridiculous.
Right, just rubbing it in your face, man.
Evil dies. That's what I always say. Evil dies tonight.
We're not talking about that trilogy here. Sorry.
Yeah,
we're good. Yeah, makes sense.
You can smell when I talk about Bubba Hotep.
Yeah. See, yeah, I've only seen the theatrical cut of 6, so like I said, I think that would be the main reason why I'd open up that set is to just see if that movie is that much better. But man, I don't know if I can get myself to it.
I would say it's that much better.
Okay.
And yes, like what Ken just said, Halloween 6 does have a lot of fall vibes. So I'd say the most Halloween movies are probably 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
Oddly enough.
I could see it. I could see 4 for sure. I like 1 and 4 is probably given the best fall vibes.
1
God,
just all the nice palm trees in the background and the painted paper leaves.
Sure, yeah.
Reminds me of October.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It is problematic. I agree.
Hey, I didn't say it. I didn't make it up. I heard it from a different YouTuber who's really famous, so it's okay.
Yeah. I've definitely never heard it before. Yeah. See, God, I don't know if I want to watch that movie more than once. H2.
Now that you know how bad it is, you can watch it and be like, oh, I get it. It's stupid. And then just enjoy it.
Right. Well, I know that you are doing a ranking of the Halloween franchise on your channel, correct?
No, we're doing Friday the 13th, actually.
I thought you were doing Halloween at some point. Or did you already do that?
Well, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
At some point.
Gotcha. Well, I kind of wanted to show you. You don't have to tell me what your ranking would be, but I did this ranking when I watched them all back to back in 2017 on Letterboxd. So I'm just going to show this really quick, and I kind of want to get your 2 cents on how you think the rankings are.
Well, I mean, 6 is way too low.
Right. Sure. I kind of figured you'd say that once I heard your thoughts on it.
And it's 3 is okay. I can live with that.
Even me just thinking about it, I feel bad putting 3 where it is as opposed to the zombie one.
Oh yeah, put the 3 out of the zombie one at least.
Right. And I did touch upon the new trilogy in here as well. And
I did a whole last year. I did well when I was on a stream with, I think, it was Bob, Bob Terrell and Mike. I think we all did our Halloween ranking stream kind of together, and I had Halloween 1 is my second, and then Halloween 3 is my first. I think all of us had Halloween Ends at the end,
right?
Because we just watched it and hated it pretty much.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't think I hated that movie as much as most, but I think these last 5 movies for me personally were like a 1.5 out of 5, a 2 out of 5 at best. I just for this franchise being as big as it is, there are a lot of stinkers for entry for me.
It's funny, because like the highs are like, I always like to compare it to like Jason specifically, because like Freddy is my favorite franchise, slasher franchise at least.
Yeah.
Overall, like there's not one I don't like.
Sure.
And I really like most of them. And like the Jason movies are all like, none of them are amazing for the most part, but they're all really fun, at least if you're in the mood for it.
Right.
These are just like, you really have to be in the mood for them to even like get through a few of these at least.
Right.
But like the couple that are really good are like better than any Jason movie, in my opinion. That's kind of where I rank it. I'm like, the best Halloween is better than the best Friday the 13th, but the worst Friday the 13th is better than mediocre Halloween.
Correct. I can totally get behind that. Yeah. Yeah. Personally, I'm more of a Freddy guy. I just love the creativity in that franchise. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, that was my first slasher franchise. I grew up on that. So I'll be talking about it on our next Collectors Club. That's our theme is going to be slashers. So I'm going to be talking about Freddy's, and I think everyone else is going to be talking about a different slasher franchise.
Sure.
So,
well, that would be exciting.
We rented it at my grandparents' house when we were kids, me and my cousins, and we'd watch them all.
God, that sounds like the dream. You and me had very different childhoods.
Because my sister and I watched the first one of New Nightmare when New Nightmare was brand new in like '94. So we forced our cousins to watch those two, and then we went back the next time. We all had a big cousin sleepover there and rented 2 and 3. Then we were like, what the hell is this? And then 3 was amazing, and now I love 2. But then we rented 4 and 5, and then Freddy's Dead was the last one at the time. So
I think 1 through 5 might be like the strongest stretch of a slasher franchise there is. I love all 5 of those movies.
Yeah, I actually really like Freddy's Dead too. It's just dumb fun.
Yes, emphasis on the dumb.
New Nightmare is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly probably like Freddy's Dead more than Part 5, just because I don't know why. I just something about it.
Yeah. I think I liked the practical effects in 5 more than I did in Freddy's Dead. Freddy's Dead is where it got very cartoonish, like the Wicked Witch thing at the beginning. Just like, oh, okay, this is the type of movie this is. Okay.
Yeah, Freddy's Dead's good if you like want to watch like something funny that's stupid.
Right. I should watch it in 3D. I feel like that format's perfect for it.
Yeah. Well, only like that last scene is in 3D.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
The DVD came with the 3D glasses. I remember that.
I think I still have those. Yeah. That set is awesome too. Talk about really cool box sets. Back in the day, that Nightmare on Elm Street DVD box set that had.
I wish I still had that. I don't. Sadly, I used to though.
I do have that one in the back. It's great. Hopefully one day
find it at Goodwill and just be like, yes, let's finally have it again. Just
hopefully one day we get a good, nice boutique label box set for Freddy. I would absolutely love it. Blu-ray or 4K.
4K at this point.
I hope so, but yeah, none
there's
of
only
these really
8 or 9 movies.
Yeah, there's 8,
9,
right?
9 including the remake, I think.
Oh yeah, and Freddy vs. Jason,
right?
yeah.
Or Freddy vs. Jason, I mean, yeah.
Yep. I'd be into that so much, but yeah. At the end of every podcast, I kind of like to tease what's going to come up next, and this next one I have here, it's going to be new to a lot of like the YouTube people because I'm bringing some of my TikTok people to the podcast. This one is going to be Arrow Video. We're going to talk about Mary Shelley's Frankenstein with Drew from Movie Steals. He's a very cool collector. He might give me a run for my money on like actual like steel books that he has in his collection. And he has a lot of ones from overseas and whatnot. But yeah, I've never seen Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I've had it in my collection for years. So I'm very excited to actually see it.
I haven't watched it either. I finally just bought it off of what was it? Hamilton Books. It was like $14.95 for the 4K, so I grabbed it, and I
Yeah,
still
I-
haven't watched it. That's
I-
another one I remember my parents renting when I was a kid, and I watched part of it,
Hmm.
but not all of it. And I remember they didn't like it.
Oh boy, I just watched the original Frankenstein for the first time last year, and I really enjoyed that. So,
Oh, it's good. Yeah, yeah. I rewatched it last year actually for only the second time. I think I watched it for the first time like 20 years ago when I bought the DVD,
yeah,
and then I bought that 30 film
right,
Blu-ray
yeah,
set, and I
yeah,
finally
looks great.
watched like the first entry of every series last year.
Mm-hmm.
Invisible Man's my favorite. If you haven't watched that one,
I haven't. No, I've
oh,
just watched
that's the
Dracula
best.
and Frankenstein. Yeah,
The special effects in the original Invisible Man are like still impressive.
right. Yeah, dog's wanting to say hi. Sorry
No,
about
yeah,
that.
that's why I have a door in this room now.
Well, he's
Otherwise,
usually
my cat
good.
would be all over the place.
Yeah, he's usually good, and then like an hour and a half goes by. He's like, "Okay, you got to pet me right now."
Look at me.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Thanks for coming on, Derek. Do you have anything you
thanks
want to plug before we kind of end this bad boy?
Thanks for having me. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not nearly as famous as everyone else on here, so I appreciate the invite. And I had to pick this first. Like that when you asked
Right.
me, I'm like, this is my first boutique label purchase, and it's something I still love to this day. So it's the perfect thing to talk about.
Yeah. No, made a lot of sense. I'm glad you came on. I think you and I kind of have the same dry sense of humor. So yeah,
Seems like it.
yeah. Yep.
It would seem that way.
Mhm.
But yeah, as far as plugs go, I'm doing my second annual October stretch where I watch sequels to horror movies and do little videos about them. I did them last year. I made one for Halloween 2. I made
Mhm.
one for Freddy's Revenge, Evil Dead 2, and a couple other ones. I
Nice.
can't remember all of them. This year I just did this week Critters 2, which just dropped, I think, yesterday. I did one of the other ones I did. I can't remember now that I'm thinking about it. Final Destination 2. I rewatched that whole series, so I figured I'd make a video about that one.
Love that.
A third one I can't think of off the top of my head. And tomorrow, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 video will be on my channel early in the morning. And I think that's the best one of the 4 I did this week.
Hmm.
So, oh yeah, Dawn of the Dead. That was the other one. That was a pretty good one. I love Dawn of the Dead. I finally watched that second side 4K and it was gorgeous.
Oh my god, transfer there is great.
Yeah, I watched
agree more.
the extended cut for the first time that I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, this is slightly longer, but it's the same movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, like we mentioned earlier, Saturday the 14th, ironically, I will be doing a Friday the 13th franchise focus, I'm calling it. I've been wanting to do it since the 5th Evil Dead movie came out, and I just never had a chance to see in theaters, so I ex-nayed that. But I was going to have me, 3 other guests, which are Caprice, Draculina Horror, Cody, Dude Who Loves Movies, and Mega Mike, the Movie Man, and myself are going to be just going through chronologically all 12 Friday the 13th movies. How is it? It's sad there's 13 Halloweens and only 12 Friday the 13th.
Give it time. Yeah.
Give it a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we'll go through, number 1 through number 12. We're going to give our individual rankings, and then I made a cool little collective ranking countdown video yesterday that we'll be showing at the end to see what is officially the greatest Friday the 13th movie of all time.
Oh boy.
Via the community challenge type scale where, number 1's worth 12 points, number 12 is worth 1 point.
Very nice.
Yeah, the top and bottom are what I thought. Everything in between is the fun part.
Mm-hmm. Those are always fun to see, like who did what. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I'll definitely be watching that one, man. I love Friday the 13th franchise. You can have a blast with just fun slashing all the way through.
Yeah. Even the worst one is worth watching.
Right. Well, thank you once again, Derek, for popping on here. This has been episode 5 of Boutique Talk, and until next time, I'll see you.